the two presidents had a meeting. After the meeting, it was actually both of them who issued communique saying that the talk will resume and should be concluded in 2 weeks' time. However, it was not clear when will the 2 weeks start. So what we learned at last was that the government was to change the team that was negotiating for the last, I don't know how many months, from May up to September. They have to make a big change of the team and have a new team and a new leadership, because what followed in that evening was the dismissal of the head of the team.
Were there reasons given for the change of government delegations team? I mean, nothing happens for no reason.
No reason was given. What happened, it wasn't only him, but also key members of the team were dropped from the new list. That is to say, Michael McQuay and Dr. Akol Paul and Gabriel Sampson, who was representing SAWA, and they were replaced with new people such as Martin Elia Lomoro, Port Kang, and then Lamakol, and then on top of them, Kuel Manyang, and all of them have been making a statement against Tumaini.
What do you mean they have been making statements against Tumaini? They are going to be representing the government. Could you give us an example of a statement that they made which is against the Tumaini Initiative?
General Kuel Manyang said that these people who are negotiating, they are only 5 people and they don't have that political weight and they don't have army. So why should people waste time?
The group you represent, the People's Coalition for Civic Action, has also been calling on the government, saying the government is not serious about the Tumaini Initiative. The government will take that as a negative statement too.
Yes, if you say somebody is not serious about something, it doesn't mean that we are negative to the process. It means that we want people to come and talk, because that is the only weapon we have. We don't have guns. We only have to negotiate because we are a non-violence organization. And if there is an opportunity for that to talk, then that will be our forum. So we cannot work against it. That is why we are here for the last 6-7 months, waiting for the government to come back.
During the wait, what is the latest information that you have at hand regarding the resumption of these talks?
The latest we have are actually media information. Kuel Manyang was interviewed by Radio Tamazu, and he said that his team will start arriving as from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The starting will be determined by their arrival. So that will be the time. The mediation will fix time to start the negotiation, the resumption of the talk.
What is the communication from the mediator, General Lazarus Simbeyo, about the arrival of the government delegation? Of course, Kuel Manyang has all the rights to tell an outlet, but isn't it the mediator who should tell you when the talks will resume?
Yeah, the mediation did not tell us because I assume, I'm not sure, that they might have not received official communication from government delegation saying we are arriving this time so that they can make a schedule. So that I think that might be the reason why they are quiet.
And what is left on the Tumaini to-do list? You started in May and we are now almost reaching December.
When the government delegation went back to Juba on the 3rd of September, they went with the proposed responsibility sharing in both the executive and the implementation mechanisms. These were the things that were left for them to go and consult the parties to our access to see how they can share among themselves, because it was agreed that the government should not be expanded and the government should not be reduced. So they should work within the current context of size of government, both assembly and the executive.
This is a final question here. Talk to me about the fears of the population. You are a civil society activist and you represent the people. People are afraid that the Tumaini Initiative is another way of prolonging their sufferings. What do you say to that?
You know, they are right in their thinking. I know that Tumaini, people were expecting a lot out of it, because that was the first initiative made by the president, and it brought on board 3 important things: leadership, political will, and commitment. But as for late, I think these three important aspects of peace in South Sudan are fading away. Because if the government delegation can go for 3 months without returning on time, then it means there is lack of seriousness and lack of commitment. The fear is that they might sign this agreement, they take it back to Juba, don't implement it, and they continue to remain in power as usual. People are really very worried about the stability of the country. Even if we sign agreements, the implementation will be an issue.
Governor Aguer, you sound worried too. And if the civil society is worried, then who is supposed to rescue the country? Or who is supposed to give hope?
The person to give hope are people themselves, because the country belongs to people of South Sudan. We civil society speak on behalf of people, but if we tell them that we don't hope that something good will happen out of this, then it will be their duty to decide what to do, because the country don't belong to civil society; it belongs to people of South Sudan.
But you have consecrated yourself to speak on behalf of the people of South Sudan, and so any ordinary citizen will say, don't quit, hold the bull by its horn.
We are holding the bull by its horn, but so long as there is a mosquito that bite us behind, like the National Security Bill, which does not allow freedom of expression and freedom of assembly, it makes it difficult to hold the bull on the horn, because something is biting you at back. Whether you have to deal with that or you have to deal with the bull is something.